Hi. Hi. Okay.
I've got these copies of that. I have all of the copies.
I don't need one, but you have another. Taste.
Your little guys, your Christmas, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if it'll be too much. 'cause
Yeah,
it's-
they don't usually have no clue. Yeah.
I like when they're little.
Little older. Hello, hi, can you sign in, please? Please sign in.
Here.
Oh, we might need more chairs.
We might.
Okay.
La, la.
Get some more chair.
Hello, Henry.
Tara.
I get me.
Hi, Chris. You sit in your regular chair. It's just that we have a full house there. And you're like, Jesus, he's like, yeah. Right, yeah. Can they reach up the couple more? I'll put him in that. What do you got out there? Just not. It's a hot cell here.
I want.
Free cookies.
Don't need any more cookies. Not as old as you think, it's like.
You're just doing its usual
Fluttering.
fluttering thing, but nobody else can see it, so it's probably okay. What did we? I don't remember what we did last time.
Unplug it.
Unplug this thing, let me see this thing.
First one.
Oh, he's not gonna be here. He was up all night.
Right. That's a good excuse.
Yeah, it is a good excuse.
We're supposed to go to the world. Kids from California.
Sign in, please. You swear
Oh, no,
Still doing it or you don't know?
Let's see what we got here. Meeting out in room.
Did you see your cookies? They're from Dale. Your cookies?
I did.
They're from Dale.
Thanks for.
They're from Dale. Dale Culver.
Dale Culver.
Oh, I love this.
I know, Maven, tell us what kind are in there. Your future decorating ideas.
Well,
Just do it and,
I think it's, it's the verb, it's the word really putting it. It's recording,
is it recording?
yes.
Daniel was there.
So
Are you sure? Are you sure? 'Cause I didn't hear.
it did, it said it's recording. And if you look at this, it says recording,
Okay,
okay?
okay, I'm gonna
So,
start this.
yeah. All right, it's actually past 7 o'clock, so I would like to call to order this meeting of the town board of the town of Northeast. Today is Thursday, December 11th, 2025, and it is a few minutes after 7 o'clock. And I would like to ask you to join me in the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
For all.
Tilly, could you please conduct a roll call?
Yes. Supervisor Cannon? Councilman Morrison? Here. Councilman Fideli?
Here,
Councilman Winkler?
Here.
Councilman Mayville?
Here. All right, an agenda was posted, but there are a number of amendments to the agenda. Which I would like to make note of at this point. First of all, the item number 7 on the agenda about the contract with Town of Pine Plains for dog kennel services. We're taking off. They're not ready. They're going to come back to us in January. And then we have a number of additions to the agenda. First of all, Dr. Tim, Superintendent of the Pine Plains School District, is here with us tonight. And has asked for a few minutes to tell us about what's going on with the Pine Plains School District. And in addition to that, we have a couple of other items. Bob Stevens is asked to be excused. He was up all night monitoring the plowing of the roads after the little storm that we had yesterday, and he's trying to get some sleep. But we have gone out to, there's a truck loan that I'm gonna refer to. We've gotten some bids on that. We have an amendment to the town employee manual in regards to comp time. And there is a matter concerning the water district, which has come up again. And an item which I know Warren wants to talk to us about having to do with suburban propane. And then at the end of the meeting, I would like to ask for an executive session to discuss pending litigation. And the assessor also has a settlement of tax cert that she would like to discuss with us. With those amendments, I would like to ask for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
aye,
All right, thank you. Well, welcome, everybody. This is our last meeting of 2025. And it is Councilman Ralph Fideli's last meeting as a member of the town board. He has asked that we not make too much of a fuss over him, so I will not,
great.
at least for now. With Thanksgiving behind us and Hanukkah and Christmas around the corner, as well as New Year, it's a time for a little bit of reflection. Thanksgiving to me contains two separate words. First is thanks, and this is a whole season. This season is a time for giving thanks, and I would like to give some. I would like to start by giving thanks to all of the volunteer charitable organizations in our community. I'm talking about the Food Pantry, Northeast Community Center, the churches, Townscape, the American Legion, the library, the fire department, and many others. People giving of their time to make our community better. Thank you. I would also like to thank the members of all of the boards and committees of the town, including the ZBA, the Planning Board, the Conservation Advisory Committee, the Board of Assessment Review, the Board of Ethics, and the Climate Smart Task Force. Their work is what makes town government seem so much bigger and so much more accomplished. They are very much appreciated. You have the town board here in front of you. We meet 13 times a year in scheduled meetings and many more times in special meetings. We take the work of guiding the town seriously. We each probably have different goals we see for the town, but we all come together around the ones that we share and the ones we can agree on. None of us are perfect, and we don't pretend to be. But I will say this, not all town boards are as collaborative and as harmonious as this one. We are very lucky. And last but definitely not least, our town employees. They may work at town hall, they may work at the highway garage, they may be out plowing snow at 2 o'clock in the morning, or they may be down in the basement trying to find a file. They show up, they do their job to the best of their ability, and I know that the town board joins me in saying how deeply we appreciate every one of them. The second word in Thanksgiving is giving. It is what all these people I just mentioned actually do, which is that they give of themselves and they make our lives more meaningful. We are now in a season of giving. There is more to talk about, and I will spare you all tonight and save my thoughts for our next regular meeting in January. But know that Town Hall is cozy and friendly and good-spirited. May it always be that way. With that, we have a couple of financial items that we're going to go through quickly, get them out of the way. We have a budget adjustment, number 9 for 2025. For A fund, an expense increase, less an expense decrease, an expense increase of $6,142, less an expense decrease of $1,142, less a revenue increase of $5,000 for a net of $0. And with B fund, an expense increase of $2,782, less a revenue increase of $2,782. With that, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve budget adjustment number 9.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have a special abstract dated November 20th, 2025, totaling $14,673.64, broken down as follows. A fund, $3,575.38. Highway Fund DB, $11,098.26. Could I ask for a motion to accept the special abstract?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It is December 11th. Here you go, Ralph,
Thank you.
because I know you have a pen.
Yes.
You needed it.
Hmm.
I have a special abstract dated December 1, 2025, totaling $78,380, broken down as follows. A fund, $36,838.60. B fund, $8,621.80. Highway Fund DB, $32,919.60. Could I ask for a motion to accept the special abstract?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, there's another one for you. And one more. I have an abstract dated December 11th, 2025. Totaling $84,540.70, broken down as follows. A fund, $68,633.86. B fund, $1,283.25. DB fund, $14,126.61. TNA two escrow, $210, and payroll TNA, $276.98. Could I ask for a motion to approve the abstract?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, here you go, Ralph.
Mhm.
Okay. The voucher committee for January 2026 is Meg Winkler and Chris Nava. Moving right through department and committee reports, Bob Stevens, as I mentioned, is not here, so there's no highway report, but he advised that there is nothing particularly outstanding to put on. The town clerk has submitted a report for planning, zoning, and building departments. And we have town board committee activity. What's that?
Did the assessor wanna get a report?
Where's the assessor's back there? Do you have a report or you want to wait for it later on? You have a report for right now?
Sure.
Perfect.
Thanks. So just wanted to follow up from last month, I touched on a little bit about state of the market this coming year, what's gonna happen with our assessment role. And I mentioned that initial analysis from the state was putting us in the high double digit range of increases. And after some review and analysis with them, it was at that back in the mid single digits. So we were happy there, and continued analysis is bearing that out. And also I wanted to show not only my analysis and the state's analysis, but also realtors that put out this lovely little packet. It's actually Houlihan and Lawrence Realtors. I brought this last year when I first stumbled upon it. Excellent representation. They do pretty much all the counties around here, and they do these nice calculations of how the market's going. And indeed, it is bearing into the same areas, and their analysis for the county-wide market is showing anywhere in the 3 to 6% increases year to year. This is an end of year report. This is Q3, but year to year it's showing 3 to 6% range. And when they do a study of Northeast towns, not Northeast, the town of all our towns around us, we're in the 8% range. So their analysis also looking like mine. Secondly, the state has put out their initial preliminary analysis of the other types of properties. This is all residential, these are major type of properties we have, but we also have vacant and commercial type properties. The state analyzes them more on the regional range. So we're kind of lumped in with Putnam County, Orange County, and Sullivan County, which is a pretty big region. So I also, since we're right on the border, I also like to look at Columbia and Capital Districts, and we're right there in between. And so their commercial analysis is anywhere between 4 and 7%. So, corresponding to what the residentials are doing. And their vacants are again anywhere between 4 and 6%. So I'm pretty happy that we're getting down, bearing down to the same numbers in all three types. And we'll be looking to have increases in our assessment role in that range, 4 to 7 somewhere, as we bear down exactly where we are. So that's good news. It's also good news that all of them are kind of going in at the same rate. So now one's not increasing more than others. So as we've had this conversation the last 3 years, so everybody goes up the same, everything stays equal as far as the tax bill. So we're hoping that's going to continue. My second topic is something I touched on some time ago. Was a few years ago, the state legislature passed a law stating that municipalities must inform all residential property owners of the existence of the senior citizens exemption. Again, the way the law was written, it says everyone has to be informed, not just the senior citizens, not just the people that live here in the town that would qualify, not just the low income people that would qualify, but everyone. So it has been kind of a hassle to inform everyone and everybody calling and asking about it when only a small percentage of those people would even qualify, but we've gotten through that over the last few years. What I'm bringing up this year is the fact that when it first came out, it was very tight to the deadline that they wanted these things mailed out. And the county kind of jumped on the bandwagon, got everything organized, printed, mailed out for us, and paid for it for the last 3 years. This year, while they're still willing to print and mail it, they are now wanting to charge back to us. So they have put out for you to decide whether you want to continue to do this or not. Technically, it is a law that says you must do it. However, the cost is going to be about $650, not a make or break. But now that we've done it 3 years in a row, have had the hassle of all the millions of phone calls of people inquiring, and we've collected, in my opinion, pretty much everyone that was missing out. There was definitely some seniors that didn't know about it, were informed about it, but now we've got them in the system. So I think over the last 3 years, we've done a good job getting everybody we need to get in the program. So from my perspective, we've done a good job and we're good to go. But it is still a law and you're required to do it. I also can tell you that many towns have not done it, not even once. So we're already ahead of the ball there. But it's up to you if you want to go for it this year and pay for it. The expense would be on us now, probably going forward. I don't think the town is gonna ever go back. Once they start paying for something, they don't start again. So it's decision, and also a decision you could do it this year, not next year, or not this year, and maybe every couple of years. Something I want to put out to you, but since it's now a cost, I wanted to bring it to your attention for you to decide. It's not the legislature that didn't put it onto the assessor's office. It's on the municipality to do it. Happy to coordinate it, and that's what we've been doing. But it's on you guys. So.
What would, no, go ahead,
I
Chris.
was gonna say it's just the cost, it's, the county's still gonna take care.
They're gonna, yes, they're, at least for this year, they're gonna, since they already have the printer lined up from last year, they're gonna get all that done for us.
And what would the timing be?
The law requires that they be mailed out 30 days before the exemption deadline, which is why it also makes it pretty hectic for us, during that's our busiest time of year already, and then with all these extra calls that we get. It's pretty hectic, but that's, the law says 30 days before taxable status date, so it's by February 1st, they get mailed.
So the cost would be in next year
Yes.
for the town.
Yes.
Yeah. Thoughts around the table?
We don't really have a choice if it's a law.
Well, I mean, it's a law.
With no repercussions.
I think that, you know, the fact that other towns are not following the law is interesting, but doesn't have to apply to us. I also think that there are people who were not seniors last year, who are now seniors. And, you know, what I would want to make sure is that we are, you know, reaching out to them, letting them know about it. So, you know, my inclination would be to go ahead and do this, understanding that it is, you know, burdensome for you and your department. But it is, you know, this is important to a lot of people. We have, as everybody knows, we have a lot of, you know, older people, seniors in our community.
And I think also, I mean, the postage alone, if we had to do it ourselves, it would probably be more than the $500 and some dollars.
$650,
Or
I'm not sure
$650.
exactly,
But
they do it as a postcard.
yeah,
so
and the
it wasn't
labor
less,
to do
yeah,
all
yeah,
that, so
no.
to me, it's, and people's income changes too,
Mhm.
their circumstances, so I think it's worthy.
So. My feeling is that it is something that we should go ahead and do, and so, do you need a motion from us?
Because money's involved, I would say. so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to ask for a motion to approve the assessor participating with the county in advising seniors of this exemption.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you so
Alright.
much.
Yep, thank
Well,
you.
I have, well, until later.
Yeah, okay. Okay, where were we? Okay. Town board committees. We have a number of things on housing. I went to a meeting this afternoon this afternoon with Assembly Member Dee Dee Barrett and the supervisor of the town of Stanford and a board member from Pine Plains regarding a program which is underway up in Columbia County of land banking. I will come back and talk to the board much more about it. I have some notes and I haven't even had a chance to write them down yet. But I will come back to you all. It's an interesting proposal that builds on the +1 and the ADU programs. It's not going to change the world, but these are programs that we should look at because they potentially can help us. And Pine Plains and Stanford will also be looking at that as well. There is a one item, personnel item, which we're going to come back to, which is a change in the comp time, which we'll come back to. I don't think there are any other personnel items at the moment. We will be having a vacancy on the ZBA, and we've received an application, and I know that the committee is going to be conducting an interview in very short order. And building and grounds, I'm going to talk a little bit about the new town hall in a little bit. So moving through that, we have a date for the town board reorganization meeting, which has been set for January 2nd of next year, and a snow date of January 5th. And the time of the reorg, I think, has usually been at 5 o'clock. So I would like to suggest that we set it for 5 o'clock unless there's any reason to make it later. But I think
It's Friday the 2nd, right?
Friday the 2nd. And that is our annual meeting where we make all the reappointments. It doesn't have there's no other agenda for that meeting. But it's a lot of different appointments that are made. And the snow date would be on January 5th. Okay,
Last time we had a motion and a second for setting the date.
for setting the date, happy to ask for a motion to set the date of the reorg.
Second,
Okay, that's a motion to set the date of January 2nd for the reorganization meeting and the snow date of January 5th at 5 o'clock. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We have, I mentioned that the superintendent of the Pine Plains School District is with us tonight. We're pleased to have you here, and Dr. Tim has a presentation he'd like to make to us, telling us what's going on in Pine Plains. We, as people here know, children from our community, I think, attend 3 different school districts. Obviously, Weavatuck is the main one, but there are some people who attend Pine Plains School District, and so we look forward to hearing your report.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity for presenting. Really what I want to do is give a very brief synopsis of what I've been working with my school board on for the last year and a half. And really, we've been analyzing whether or not the Plains Central School District is in need of right sizing. But before I get into the presentation and just the highlights of what we've been talking about, I want to just direct you as to where you can find more information. If you were to go to our website, you'll see a top banner, and one of the keywords is district. If you go to click on district, you will find a future ready organization information center, which is a landing page. On that page, you will see all of the presentations with our slide deck that we have presented, along with just the video of that workshop. So you don't need to watch the whole board meeting, it's just a discussion regarding our various topics. Some of the topics that we talked about was taking a look at our 5-year fiscal plan, along with enrollment trends, foundation aid, enrollment trends with instructional staffing, enrollment projections with facility analysis, and discussions on facility utilization. So my goal tonight is to just hit some highlights for you of some of these presentations, but you certainly can go back and see a more robust discussion that the Board of Education engaged in. This is my 4th year as superintendent at Pine Plains. In my first year, we started taking a look at one question in particular that we wanted to tackle, and it was, why do we have one of the highest per pupil costs in the county? So in doing so, I started to analyze our enrollment. And our enrollment over the past 2 decades, so an analysis from 23 to 2004, all the way up until 2024, 2025, is been significantly decreasing. So in the year of 2003, 2004, Pine Plains Central School District had 1,420 students, and that was in grades K through 12. In the school year of 2024, 2025, we have 783 students, and that is pre-K through 12. So we've actually added a grade band. So, you know, our enrollment has more or less decreased 50% in the last 2 decades. In my second year of being the superintendent, there was a bit of a scare that the state gave us on foundation aid. Foundation aid is one of the aids that we receive from New York State. There's transportation aid, there's building aid, a whole bunch of other types of aids, but it was particularly foundation aid that was a bit problematic. So let me just take a moment or two to explain what our state aid is. We received $8 million from New York State on state aid. $2 million is from building aid and all the other types of indicators that I was saying, but we received $6 million from foundation aid. The foundation aid is something that was established in 2007, and there is a provision in the law that is used interchangeably. Sometimes it's called Save Harmless, other times it's called Hold Harmless. They mean the same thing. And really what Save Harmless and or Hold Harmless is, it ensures that a school district does not receive less foundation aid than it did the previous year. The governor in my second year of being a superintendent discussed possibility removing that provision of Save Harmless or Hold Harmless. So what that meant for our school district is, because the foundation aid is a very complex formula, it has 2 variables that are extremely impactful. One is student count. The student count is a weighted value where they have general education students count as a value of like 1.0, and special education students count as a value of 1.4. So it doesn't match our total enrollment exactly, but it's close to it. The other important variable is the wealth ratio. And the combined wealth ratio for the Pine Plains Central School District is something that has been increasing over time. And last year, our combined wealth ratio was about 2.41%, or ratio rather. So really what that means is, on paper, we look 2.5 times wealthier than most other districts. So when you recognize that our enrollment is decreasing and our wealth ratio is going up, when you do that actual math with the true numbers, we are set to lose $4 million in foundation aid. Now, what that would mean for us, if we were to lose $4 million from foundation aid, it would reduce our overall allotment by a total of $4 million. We would still retain the $2 million in building aid, transportation aid, and all those other ones. But we are looking at a significant funding gap on the revenue side. So additionally, we went through and started taking a look at enrollment by building. And one slide in particular that I'll hit the highlight for you on is we looked at our enrollment in 2004, 2005, which is on the left. And then we compared that to our enrollment in 2024, 2025. The biggest thing I'd like to point out is our enrollment in grades 9 through 12 was 465 students. And our enrollment in grades 6 through 8 was 358 students, which totals 823 students. That was our enrollment in our junior senior high in 2004, 2005. If you compare that to our enrollment pre-K through 12, last year it was 783. So we went through the process of working with Dr. Haber to do an enrollment projection and a facility analysis. And given the slide you just saw, I think you can guess what he sort of included, which is the district can consolidate into 2 buildings. That the change will not have any impact in the delivery of service or an increase in class size. And that the change will decrease transportation costs and operational costs. And if we were to close a building, it will generate revenue by either being sold, leased, or rented. So those are some of the things that we have been discussing. This year in the fall, what we ended up doing is I contacted all 9 towns that our school district represents. This is the 6th opportunity I've had to present to a town board. So I appreciate the opportunity to quickly come in and sort of explain the landscape of what we are facing. We have also held community forums as well as staff forums. We are still going to, over the next couple of board meetings, obviously be discussing our options and closely watching Foundation Aid and see what happens. Not to be political, but if you asked me about 6 months ago, I would have said for sure Foundation Aid would stay. Hold Harmless would be fully funded because the governor is going into election year. But for whatever reason, I'm not passing judgment. It seems that the current federal government is not playing nice with New York for whatever reason. And I believe there is less federal money coming to New York State. So I think the governor has some difficult decisions that she needs to make in her preparation of her budget. So I'm not 100% sure that we will be fully funded in Foundation Aid. My wish and hope is that the governor gives a soft off ramp, if you will, maybe a reduction of 10% over 10 years or 20% over 5 years, something manageable. But as we recognize that we do have a decrease in enrollment, we are starting to work and strategize for the potential shortfall in revenue that we foresee in the near future, which is why we are having these types of conversations. I know it doesn't affect a large portion of this town, but it does affect some, which is why I appreciate the opportunity to come and share. I'll take any questions that you have.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for coming out and describing what you are dealing with. I suspect that the story from other school districts, including Weegatuk, is not completely different. And so it's interesting. I know school enrollments have been declining in many parts of Dutchess County. And it's something that we as a town don't run the schools. We're not in charge of the schools, but we are aware of it, and it's a concern. I think the fact that you were getting out and making, trying to explain to people what's going on and what is behind your potential decisions down the road is really admirable. Are there other thoughts?
So, thank you. I know years ago it came up with the wealth ratios being a real challenge for so many of our rural communities, because I think it's average versus median or something too, so. Yeah, the extremes throw off,
The extremes significantly impact the wealth ratio.
right?
And I think what has happened over the last couple of years, and I don't have the exact date it started. There is a phenomenon that is happening. Is not only unique to Pine Plains, it happens to a lot of different places where some people that live and work in New York City are buying secondary homes that are abnormally highly priced. And that is throwing an imbalance in the wealth ratio. And those students do not usually attend the local school districts. But it is really significantly impacting the formula in which we are getting funding from the state.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, I know that came up with Assemblywoman Dee
Mhm.
Barrett's office brought it up years ago. Because it stopped us from getting other funding too, I
Yeah.
think, based on that.
And I have been in constant contact with Dee Dee Barrett, along with Senator Michelle Hinchy, so they are fully aware of my concerns and everything that's going on with Foundation Aid.
Great. Any other questions or comments on the board? If not, we thank you for making the trek over here.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the
Yeah.
opportunity.
All right. Okay, I have a couple of items here. The, do you have the language for the comp time? Let's- Yes, yeah.
Go back.
We've had a request for a change in the amount of comp time. This affects it affects the highway employees. And it results in a change in in section 702 of the employee handbook. And the change is that an employee may accumulate up to 60 hours in compensatory time credits. That's a change from 40 hours in compensatory time credits. Councilman Chris Mayville and I met with the highway department. We met both with Bob Stevens and also with the highway employees. And I think our view is that this is an appropriate change. They actually asked for this 2 years ago, and we did not do anything about this last year. But I think it's an appropriate change. So are there any questions about that? I'm happy to answer them, or otherwise I would like to ask for a motion to approve the amendment to the employee handbook.
Make that motion.
So no.
Yeah.
I was second.
You got that, Tilly?
Mm-hmm.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, that's that one. The highway department, while we're on the subject of the highway department, is buying a new truck, and we replace vehicles, fairly frequently. And we are going out to Bob Stevens has asked for the ability to buy a new truck. We talked about this to the board. He has gone out and ordered a new truck, which is now in the process of being delivered. The amount of that is $168,000. These things are very expensive. Anyway, we have had a regular process of taking out a loan for this and retiring a loan at the same time. This way, the actual impact on the budget is virtually unchanged. Anyway, we have gone out to 3 different banks for a loan for 3 years for this amount, and we got 3 bids back. And the bids were at 3.9% and 3.6% and 2.25%. And that is from the Bank of Millbrook, and I would like to.
Big difference.
Big difference, and it's a great help. This is a great help to the town. So with that, I would like to ask for a motion to approve this bid from the Bank of Millbrook for a 3-year loan for $168,000 at 2.25%.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We have, I want to talk a little bit about new town hall planning, but I'm going to try and make that relatively short. What I'd like to do is actually take maybe a special session in January to delve into that. We are moving forward with an architectural engineering company for the renovation of the new town hall, which is the former Jehovah's Witnesses building. And we are just at the beginning portion of that. As people who follow this may recall, we had a design for the building and we put that out to bid last year. We only received 1 bid in the amount of $940,000. The board rejected that bid as being, way too high. So we want to do some work on trying to see what we can do with the design to bring this substantially down. And I would like to, at some point in January, to have a meeting, maybe just devoted just to that. I would like to open it up to the community for people who want to see the design of the interior. The outside does not really change, but the interior of it would. And I would certainly, I think it would be great to have community input on that as we move forward. We have 2 other items. One concerns the water district, and you received communication from the attorneys representing the owners of a parcel who wanted essentially to hook up to our water district. Can you bring us up to date?
Yeah.
And it feels like it's been a long time since we approved this.
Yeah, it's several months ago, I don't know, maybe almost a year, 6 months ago.
Mhm.
We had been approached by a property owner who wanted to negotiate a out of district water use agreement with the town. There is a process under New York state law for that. It's done all the time. It's not a unusual process. There were some issues that we had internally about that with our assessor, but we resolved that. And then when we were ready to move forward with the process, because we had to coordinate that with the village, we were advised that they were going to possibly sell the property, so it was put on hold for 6 months. We just received a communication from the attorney for that property owner that they would like to reinstitute the process, which is fine with me. The holdup was not only that they weren't gonna go ahead with it at that time, but they had to fund an escrow account for the town and for the village, which I am informed they are prepared to do now. And if that's acceptable to the board, we were poised to move forward with this before. I will notify their attorney that we would like to move forward with that to fund the escrow account for both the village and the town. And then we'll talk about it process in more detail, next year.
Given that we approved moving forward on this 6 months ago, I see no reason why we should not accept the escrow at this time, and then, as you said, come back to it. But I think that would make sense, to move it along, so I would, unless there are any further questions of Warren on this.
All I need is just authorization from the board to contact their attorney and tell them that we're ready to move forward this fund the escrow account. I don't know what the feedback is from the village, but I think the village is on board too.
Well, we can find out when we can reach the village pretty easily.
Right.
But with that, I would like to ask for a motion to authorize Warren to indicate we would accept the escrow on this and that we would like to move forward with that.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. And the one other item, hopefully we can get through this very quickly. Also concerns the new town hall, former Jehovah's Witness building. And it concerns the propane tank. This has been a problem since we purchased the property. There is a propane tank buried in the ground. When we bought the property, obviously we bought the property, including the propane tank. And since then, we have had a communication from Suburban Propane saying that they think that it is their tank. And they would like us to either dig it out and give it to them or to buy it from them. And everything about this, and I'm really speaking just from my experience with this, tells me that we own the tank. Generally, tanks, when they are buried, they are part of the property. And we have heard from some of the members of the former congregation that they felt that they owned the tank. More to the point, the tank has a sign on the side of it, and there's a picture which I took and have distributed copies of it, saying, Suburban Propane customer-owned equipment. I don't know how more clear it could be that when they put this sign on the tank saying it was customer-owned equipment, that it is customer-owned equipment. So they keep sending us bills for this. Warren has gone back and forth with them, but I think it would be important for you to hear from the board how the board sees this. I mean, I certainly see it as, the idea that Warren was told that putting a sticker on the tank saying it was customer-owned equipment, that was a mistake. You don't really do that. That's a pretty significant sticker to put on the side of the tank. I really find it, unacceptable that they think that the town should just be nice and pay, for the tank. It's not their tank.
Well, and wasn't the onus of proof on them to say that,
Well,
I thought before we asked them for.
we
proof.
asked them to show a lease,
Yeah.
show that they had a lease with the.
Yeah, and we didn't print this up the sticker, and who cares if it was a mistake? It's got their name on it. It's
Yeah.
like, I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, I never buy propane from these guys.
Well, anyway, it really is, I know it's not the biggest item in the world, but it's really the principle of this thing. I just think this tank does belong to the town of Northeast. And the idea of then having to pay Suburban Propane for it is, any other thoughts?
Looks like it's ours.
It's
Sure does to me.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought we had already discussed this at nauseam.
we have.
before.
Yeah,
We
it's,
do the conclusion.
We had originally asked, we've been dealing with this for a long time. And we negotiated a price because we weren't sure that who owned that tank. dealing with Suburban Propane on this has not been a pleasant experience. And we did get what was the agreement? I didn't bring my files. $2,500 that you agreed to pay, or?
We didn't agree to
I
that.
mean, we talked, that was the price they wanted, I think it was 25.
Yeah.
And it's a used tank. And then we discovered this. And we've been asking, since this started for proof of ownership, we've never gotten
Yeah.
that. I don't
I
wanna.
mean, if they could prove that they own it, I think the town is gonna
I
be,
think they-
yeah.
Well, I don't wanna discuss it, too much in public, because it could wind up in litigation. Just wanted to know if you want me to go back to Suburban Propane and take a hard line on
I
this.
think I would.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do
I
that.
agree.
All right.
Yeah, this is just ridiculous.
I'll let you know what happens, but I'm sure this is not gonna be easy.
It's also brilliant people now ready to
Mhm,
do this, right?
mhm.
Okay. Okay. Now comes some fun part. I have a resolution. Which I'm gonna hand out to the board, but not to Ralph.
Thank you.
Which I would like to read. This is a resolution of commendation to Ralph Fidelli on completing 12 years of service on the town board of the town of Northeast. Whereas Ralph Fidelli, a resident of the town of Northeast, has for many years been actively involved in the community of Millerton and Northeast. And whereas Ralph Fidelli conceived, organized, fundraised, and quarterbacked the relocation of the Irondale Schoolhouse to its current location on the Harlem Valley Rail Trail in the village of Millerton, thereby providing our community with a visible reminder of the history of Irondale and of the greater Millerton community. And whereas Ralph Fidelli has been a principal advocate and organizer of the restoration of the memorials at the Spencer's Corner Burying Ground, thereby reminding the town board and the community of the historical roots of Millerton and Northeast. And whereas Ralph Fidelli has served 3 4-year terms as a councilman on the town board of the town of Northeast with good humor, kindness to all, and a deep concern for the community's senior citizens and for those living on fixed incomes. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of Northeast does hereby express our deepest appreciation to Ralph Fidelli for his many years of dedicated service to our community. I would like to ask for a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take a roll call.
Each Ralph.
Well, we're gonna get to.
He's gonna
Can we
use them.
have to approve the motion, this resolution.
Should.
You do a roll call.
Oh, you want me to do a roll call?
Yes, there's the 4 of us.
Supervisor Cannon,
Aye.
Councilwoman Morrison,
Aye.
Councilwoman Winkler, and Councilman Mayville.
Aye.
And you can
I have to
abstain.
recuse myself.
Yes, recuse yourself. Okay, you will get a copy of the certified
Mhm.
resolution,
Okay,
but,
thank you so much.
but here it
Thank
is.
you.
Here it is.
Mhm.
We are now going to come to public comment and an opportunity for others, and I know there's some people here who might want to say something. What I'd like to do is, because there are a number of people here who would like to talk about Ralph, but there may be people who would like to talk about anything else. And I'd like to take those first if I could. So this is public comment. All right. Who would like to say something? Don't all be bashful.
I'd like to say something.
Ralph, you can say as much as you
Yeah.
want.
Yes, I'd like to say, I have a mantra that I have always lived with and followed. And that mantra is to, when you leave this place a little bit better than you found it. And that's what I have always tried to do. So that's it.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to serve the people of this town. It really has. I've made a lot of friends. Yep. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further public comment? Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Ralph. I mean,
Ah,
you know, you and I have worked together for a long time. Kind of, had our ups and downs, mostly ups. And I just, you know, I appreciate anybody who donates the time that you donated, that you put into the community. I agree, you made it a better place. Thank you.
Yes.
I'd just like to say, Ralph, that, you know, I'm sort of newish to Millerton.
Yep.
But you were one of the first people that you were so welcoming and so cheerful. And the way you laugh, it warms my heart. It doesn't matter whether we're standing out in the cold, scrubbing tombstones at Spencer's Corners, or whether you're ringing the bell at the schoolhouse. You always have such grace, and you're a true gentleman. And one of the reasons I decided to stay here. So thank you.
thank you, Claire.
I've worked with Ralph for many years at the schoolhouse, and if it weren't for Ralph, of course, the schoolhouse would not be there. It would have been up on Route 22 and a tree would have fallen on it.
Yes,
Yes,
we would have lost the building.
yes. So, all his hard work and his leadership, and everybody else joining in to follow him, got it done, and it's there, and it's beautiful. Thank you, Ralph.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
And I would add to that, Ralph, you are faithful. It's inspiring, you just won't give up. We all have hard things that we do and we keep pushing at it, but you're the one who really makes me think I can.
Well, way back, you and Henry were also involved in the schoolhouse renovation. Yep. I remember Henry. In fact, at one point, we were talking about maybe picking the building up with a helicopter and moving it. I said, absolutely not. Yep. Yep.
Any other public comment? All right. Next item is the approval of minutes from the town board meeting of November 13th, 2025, which were distributed.
Yes.
I think that's the right date. Yes, that is the right date. And they were distributed to the board. I would like to ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, with that, I think I've noticed that, I gave notice that we would be going into an executive session, so I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. And really appreciate this, great turnout for Ralph. Thank you all and happy holidays.
We have a motion that's
In a minute, yeah.
That's nice.
Thank you, Ralph. Congratulations, bye everybody.
Yeah.
You're on.
Yeah. Do we need body count? Yeah, okay. All right.
And you'll be around. Thank you. Take care. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And they're gonna borrow this year, so.
Yeah, you gotta move quickly.
So we're gonna do it like the 20.
All right, send it right away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, real hot.
Maybe a little.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, starting it. You know. speeding levels.
Yeah, Ali's gonna be mad at me that you guys wrapped up after an hour.
You never know, you never know.
Thankfully, I figured out.
Did you get it?
See you guys.
The blue one? Crazy guy.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Hey, Ralph, do you want any water? No, he's a smart.
No,
guy.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Thank you, Dave,
No, I-
for coming out. Appreciate it.
It make you feel.
I would say is that Ralph is the one person I know who could do, well, things that people thought were impossible. And so it's those things that were just next to impossible. He was able to do.
Yeah.
What is he? Very good.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff is well worth.
Guess I can get this just later from you.
Yeah.
Ralph,
Use the sheet.
good luck.
And the ways to do.
I would shake your hand, but I have a bad cold. I'm not gonna do that. I wish you the best.
We'll have to see what the public hearing.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
I'm going to ask for a motion to go into executive session.
So no, second.
Yeah.
Bye, see you soon.
All in favor? Okay, with that, I'm going to turn off this machine.
Okay.